We're live here inside the Suburban Chevrolet Make the Choice Studios, joined by my man, Marcus Ray, M. Ray 29. All of our guests are brought to you by Dexter Builders. Whether you're looking for bathroom remodeling, room additions, a replacement window, or other commercial and home remodeling, Dexter Builders can turn your home improvement ideas into reality. They are Dexter Builders. So, Marcus, Michigan is looking to build its offense. Very clearly a work in progress. Doug Nussmeier didn't mince words when he said that. It was interesting, though. He was posed a question. It went something like, hey, everyone's saying the defense is going to have to carry you early in the season. What do you think about your unit? Is defense going to have to carry you? Now, Marcus, he answered that question the way that I think he had to. Just no. We expect to carry our part of the load, but in the next breath, when answering the next question, he said, look, we got a ways to go to get to where we want to be.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And he knows it's going to take a while for the timing to come together and for him to figure out the identity of his offense. I mean, he knows what he wants to do going into it. You have weapons on the perimeter, but you want to be able to run the ball effectively and then use your quarterback in the run game and pass game as well. Here's the thing. People don't understand, and I'm going to start breaking stuff down and giving you these type of answers, Sam. People don't understand how much the offense protects the defense. And, yeah, defense gets a lot of credit. They don't give up points and this and that. But people don't understand. Like, Michigan State was sixth in the country in time of possession. Okay? They were first in turnovers, in the turnover margin. And so when you can run the ball and you got a guy who put up 1,400, that gets your defense a big-time break. They play on short fields, and they're not out there long. Same thing happened in 97. We led the conference in time of possession. That's one thing that saved Minnesota a season ago. Wisconsin's been doing it for years. It's Big Ten football. So what Nussmeier needs to be able to do is to score fast when he needs to, protect the lead, win the turnover margin, run the ball, and then Michigan's defense, they'll say, oh, it's lights out. Mm-hmm. And then they'll say, oh, this offense is unbelievable. But that's the formula. D'Antonio's got it figured out. Tressel had it figured out. Lloyd Carr had it figured out. So does Schembechler. It's just the way it goes in this conference. Nussmeier just needs to make sure he wins the turnover battle, run the football, possess the football, and then end every possession with a kick. That means a field goal, a punt, or an extra point. And if he can do that, everything else will fall into place, and he needs to find out who his guys are going to be up front.
As you know, Marcus, that dynamic wound up that way up in East Lansing, but it started out much differently with the defense kind of carrying.
Exactly right.
No, it wasn't. There was no kind of to it. They absolutely carried them, actually leading them in scoring over the first couple of games of the season.
Yeah, and I don't know if Michigan's going to be that productive or dominant, or it will have to be defensively as Michigan State were, but their defense really saved their season. They gave them a chance to have a chance. By the time they got in a conference play, the rest was history. But Michigan's defense probably will have to carry the offense for a couple of games, but not the entire season. But I don't think that Appalachian State is very good. We know Miami of Ohio is one of the worst football programs in America. Utah's going to be a little different. Notre Dame is going to be Notre Dame, and it's on the road. So I think that's the one game the defense has to show and prove just in case things don't go right offensively. But other than that, I don't see them having a problem scoring any points on Appalachian State, Miami, or Utah, just to get things started before you get to conference play.
Marcus, give me your take on Devin Gardner. I ask this question from the perspective of you as a player and an analyst. You can see it from two sides. I mean, is the criticism and are the critiques, are they fair or are they unfair? Some people think he should be out of the position now. Others think that he should get the hook, the first interception he throws. What do you think of him as the leader of the offense this year?
Well, I think people that critique Devin have to ask themselves, are they really qualified to critique Devin? And really, what are they looking at? When you have a kid throws for almost 3,000 yards and didn't even play in the bowl game, cut down on his turnovers during conference play. Even when he turned the ball over, Michigan didn't lose. But when he didn't turn it over, Michigan lost. See, I don't think people understand the way things. If you take that young man off the field, number one, you're doing yourself a disservice as a football team. He is probably your best football player, like complete football player. If he's not out there last year, you win 4 games. Maybe 4. You don't Shane Morris me to death. His time is coming if he doesn't get beat out by Wilton Spate at some point. So leave Devin Gardner alone. Let him lead this Michigan football team. You haven't won a conference championship in 10 years. He gives you the best opportunity. Let him work with Doug Nussmeier and see if you can iron out some of the mistakes and see if you can get this kid to develop as a quarterback. He came in a quarterback, went to receivers, threw him back at quarterback. That's not something that just happens overnight. Everybody wants results. But I think he has a young group of wide receivers. Now that he's a part of the protection, Sam, he knows where the blitz is coming. He can set the front. He can shift the running back, slide the line to the right. He's a natural playmaker. His throwing mechanics aren't the best. But I think Doug Nussmeier is going to find ways to utilize his entire skill set through the air and decision-making and with his feet. And then Devin Gardner is going to play lights out this year. And if he doesn't, then okay. A game or two here, he's not going to be perfect. I just wish everybody would leave Devin alone, because if I really came over there and saw Ira working the board over there and told him what he was doing wrong, I really don't know that piece of what Ira does. But you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I do know that Devin Gardner is a pro quarterback. Devin Gardner is going to get drafted, and he's going to provide somebody with some type of depth, and somebody's going to work with him, and he'll be okay. I'm not saying he's a first-rounder, but Devin is, he's the stir. I mean, he's the straw that stirs that drink. It's going to come down to defense until Devin figures it out. But if you don't want Devin to throw the ball, then find a running game. Put Tyrone Wheatley back in the game, or Jack Matuka, let him go for 300, and then give the quarterback all the credit. Because that's all that's happening in the Big Ten, except for some quarterbacks need to be great 1 or 2 games. Connor Cook was great in the 2 biggest games of the year. Other than that, it was Jeremy Langford. Same thing with Brian Greasy.
All right, so put on your coach's hat, your defensive back's hat, and tell me what are the warts for Devin Gardner? What are the things that he needs to improve upon? Because, like you say, he is the guy that's established. Now, what does he need to get better at from your perspective?
I think he needs to take command of the huddle more. I've talked to Devin a couple of times. He doesn't really get after people. He doesn't really say, hey, man, you should have caught the ball or protect me or get it going. I think that's one intangible he needs to improve on, because, when you lose, everybody's emotions are all fragile. And don't say that. Our team's divided if you fuss him out and all of that. All the soft-minded stuff starts to take place. Devin needs to take care of the football. His ball security, to me, has always been in question. His leadership at times, like I said, he doesn't get in guys' faces and hold guys accountable, at least publicly, or at least on Saturdays, it doesn't look like it. And I think he's just too nice. I think if he approached the game with the killer mentality, saying, I can make all the throws, I'm going to just get open and I'll get it to you. Give me 3 more seconds and we'll move the chain. But his mechanics, I think his delivery is a little bit too low for his height. And then I think he needs to throw the ball away, like high and outside, like a foul ball, instead of throwing it to the other team or throwing it in a position like, we saw in the scrimmage. But definitely from a maturity standpoint, knowing when to throw what and to take what the defense gives you. If he learns how to do that and doesn't play freestyle inkster ball where you run around and shake everybody and throw it and make everybody miss, if we can leave that part of the game alone and just you drop that quarterback, be a mobile quarterback, throw it away, take the throws that are there, and understand pass protection. That's the biggest thing. He needs to understand where the defense is trying to attack him.
Good stuff from Marcus Ray.
And it's going to like that, Sammy. They're not going to like it. The other thing, real quick, the highest honor of any Michigan player is to be named captain. So my hat goes off to Brady Hoke for just not handing that out or leaving it up to a team that's still figuring out their identity of who their leaders are. They'll find out who their leaders are soon enough. Don't worry about the captain thing. Let Brady Hoke do what he do, and then let that be that. But the highest honor you can have is to be named the Michigan captain, and Brady's just not playing with that. He's not handling that lightly.
All right, so Marcus, we put you, we put you up against the wall here. We've talked about an outlook for the team, but now the season is upon us. They play on Saturday. Von Mizell from ESPN, he looked at it and said, hey, this is the same Michigan team as last year. Joey Galloway got on College Football Live and said this team just doesn't have talent. So they don't expect this team to show much of any improvement over last year. What about you, Marcus Ray? You're an analyst too, man.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know what Joey Galloway's talking about. Maybe he hasn't watched Michigan play or hasn't really, some guys just say things. And no disrespect to Joey, but to say Michigan doesn't have talent is ludicrous. I see a much improved football team. I just think that their issues are going to come on the road. 2 out of those 3. I've been saying 9-3 behind Michigan State. There's no way I'm going to go against Michigan State right now as the favorite to win. But I will say Michigan is the most dangerous. When I say dangerous, I'm saying they have the potential to either win the East. They can play spoiler and come to your house and beat you in East Lansing or beat you down in Columbus, or you just don't know what you're going to get yet. But from a talent standpoint, and if they play angry, then I think Michigan is that wild card team that won the last 2 games to get in, finished at 9-7, and then ran the table, kind of like the Giants, a few years back. So that's what I mean, dangerous. I didn't say best. I didn't say the most loaded. And no, I think Ohio State has the most talent. I think Michigan State probably is the best complete football team, but Michigan is the most dangerous, and nobody really wants to see them right now because they don't know what they're going to get. But I think Michigan can be as good as they want to be. I see them winning down in Notre Dame. I just don't know if they'll go to East Lansing and win, and I don't know if they'll go to Columbus and win. So the Big Ten East is going to beat up on each other like never before this year. But I think Michigan can come into second place. Right now in the preseason, I would pick Michigan State, Michigan to be second. And I mean like an 8-0 versus a 7-1 kind of finish in the conference, or 7-1, 6-2 kind of finish. But I don't think Ohio State will be as good as everybody thinks. I think it'll come down to Michigan and Michigan State in that one game in East Lansing.
All right. Good stuff as always, Marcus. You know how we do it. Where can they find Rays of Light? When can they see you on the Big Ten Network?
I'll be on the Big Ten Network next Friday, September the 5th. I'm off this week. I had a few shows the last couple of weeks, so we're spreading it out. But I will be on there September the 5th on Big Ten Live. Tune in, and that's a great week, great show before Michigan and Notre Dame and Oregon and Michigan State and all that. You can hear my picks on all of that. Then just email me, mray29@gmail.com. Go to the MDN, pick up my books, The Whole Deals, football season. If you need a speaker, I would love to come work at your function and make some things happen. But I'm always here. I'm not going nowhere, and I'm always, tell you exactly what I think, Sam. I'm your homeboy, but I'm not a homer. I just can't do it, and I wouldn't be Marcus Ray if I didn't get on there and tell you the truth. Well, appreciate the platform, fellas.
Well, I'm gonna tee you up, Marcus, just so you know they're trying to guys try to come at you on Twitter saying you're not keeping it real about Devin. So you gotta go on Twitter and get at some people, man.
Hey, it's funny what they want me to say, that he's weak, he's whack, he can't play,
he's
no good.
Pretty much.
Then I would be a liar. I mean, the film speaks for itself. But you know what I said about Devin. The man can play football. He's not perfect. Everybody loves Brett Favre, and he's to lead the league in interceptions. He's thrown more interceptions and turned the ball over to any quarterback ever. And now, but some people hail him as the greatest. Opinions don't matter. We all have them. I got my take. You got yours, whoever it is on Twitter. If he thinks I don't think if he doesn't think Devin Gardner's a football player, then shame on him. But we'll do it again next week, though, Sam.
All right. Marcus Ray, folks. Rays of Light, Big Ten Network, and, of course, WTKA.